Low-skilled service workers like cashiers, waiters, and call center agents are often perceived as being easily substituted by their employers. Because of this, they often have low wages, few employee benefits, if any, weak control over their work and schedules, and in Canada, they are often less unionized. The fact that they are less unionized relates to the fact that there is high turnover and high concentrations of part-time employment in many of these occupations. Now, how are these workers being affected? Many low-skilled service workers are being affected by the pandemic because they often make less money and are seen as being easily disposed of. These workers are less inclined to refuse requests from management on when to show up to work and how their work is conducted because they fear losing hours or their jobs entirely. So how do we recover the economy and improve the life of these workers? There are solutions for low-skilled workers in society in general. I'll just talk about this briefly, about some key ideas. But one of them is that in terms of low-skilled work, I think that the major thing we've learned is that there's a considerable gap in worker voice. Most low-skilled service workers in Canada are low-wage and had little say in how companies adapted to the pandemic. This is largely because they lack representation from unions, and the current legislation keeps it that way. This is not the case in other countries. In Sweden, for instance, almost all low-skilled service workers are backed by a union, and these unions, because of this, these unions have significant power to negotiate changes in working conditions. There's virtually no low-wage work in the country, and the employees have a significant mechanism for recourse should they not like how companies are adapting to the pandemic and how it affects their lives. Providing these workers in Canada with greater access to voice should be part of the recovery plan. Low-wage service work has grown over the past several decades, just as well-paid manufacturing jobs have declined. Because of this, we have seen the decline of the middle class. That's one major reason for the decline of the middle class. If we could push for an ambitious agenda where these workers are able to negotiate conditions, this could lead to transforming these jobs into middle-class jobs. This would not only improve the quality of life of a significant proportion of the workforce, but it would have a strong stimulus effect for the economy. However, I feel like some jobs will be altered forever. And this can be good and bad in various ways, as I discussed earlier, but these include jobs in call centers, for example. It is my sense that the shift to work from home will never be completely reversed, and that we are going to have many discussions on how to adapt to an economy where workers increasingly conduct work within their bedrooms, especially, and this includes low-skilled service work. Not to mention the effect that this will have on communities where where there is fewer need for public transport, for commercial real estate in cities, and the litany of businesses that used to depend on workers purchasing things in and around working hours will be affected in cities. So there's going to be some significant disruptions in some occupations as well.